Warren Ballentine, Ben Ferguson in the house, and we'll ask them what they are hearing as well. Warren Ballentine is here. Ben Ferguson's here. Both of them have radio shows that are syndicated in their own names. Thank you so much for joining us. Warren's in Raleigh. Ben, where are you tonight joining us from?
Memphis.
You're joining us from Memphis. Okay. Warren, let's start with you. When you heard, I don't know if it's a comparable comparison, but the person there just on Twitter said, hey, we had our own election problems back in 2000. Should we really be interfering in their business? Is this good that the White House is saying, hey, let's see what happens before we actually make a stronger statement?
I think the White House shouldn't say anything, and the reason being is because of what happened in 2000 when Bush stole the election. Look, it's clear that he stole the election. Ben, you're laughing, but let me argue it from a legal point of view. As a lawyer, Don, the way procedure works in a case like this, it was supposed to be the Congress who decided who was the president, not the Supreme Court.
But let's stick to Iran.
Legally, it was stolen. And when you look at what's going on in Iran, when you look at what's going on in Iran right now. Who are we to judge Iran? I'm proud of the people of Iran for standing up and going to the street, because that's what we should have been doing in 2000 and 2004. Unfortunately, our country, we don't have the fortitude to stand up when our government is doing wrong.
Okay, all right. So before I get to Ben, let me just say that, in a court procedure and according to the Electoral College,
and according to the Supreme Court,
the election was, that's what I said in a court proceeding. The election was
Neither one of you guys are lawyers. I'm an attorney, Don. I know the Supreme Court law. I know what's going on legally.
All right, Warren, let's move on.
Any legal scholar,
we want to move on now. Ben, go ahead. How do you respond to that?
Well, I mean, you look at what's going on over there. Obviously, this White House has become very famous very quickly for holding back and not taking the front move on this one. I think they want to see how it's going to play out over there. I look at it and I see all the young people that are protesting right now over there, and I find it sad because some people are getting hurt, but also encouraging because you see that there are a lot of people in Iran that are standing up for themselves and what they believe in, and they don't think that their votes were counted. I mean, but to compare it to America is just, it's sad, and it discredits what they're going through over right now in the Middle East. What they're doing is totally different and not even close to what we've dealt with in America.
And Ben, before I get back to Warren, I want to ask you this. Is this an issue, though, an issue that Republicans and Democrats, conservatives, liberals, maybe can agree upon when it comes to Iran and the handling of it?
Well, I would have thought so until I heard him talk a minute ago. I thought most people would be on the same page that, look, we should back them and make sure that they have fair and free elections and certainly help those stand up and not be persecuted if they're wrong.
But,
I think
Warren's
that's what
a free
America's
spirit,
about.
and he just goes where he wants to go. So
this is very true. We know that every week.
I think this is very hypocritical on both of your parts, because honestly, how are we as Americans going to tell somebody else what they need to be doing when we had the same situation here and we didn't stand up and say anything?
Warren, I didn't tell them anything to do tonight.
Yeah,
I didn't tell them.
I'm not suggesting that. I didn't suggest that at all. I was simply stating, hang on, I was simply stating a fact there when I talked about the election and the Supreme Court. And as an entity, I mean, CNN cannot say that the election was stolen. However, you can say that.
The White House shouldn't say anything at all, Don. The White House just take the stance that they're taking.
It was in 2000.
Okay,
let it go.
Hang on, Ben. Let me let Warren get the last word in here, because I want him to have his say as well. As I spoke to Ben, Warren, I'll pose the same question to you. Is this an issue that even maybe in a couple of days, or maybe even now, that Republicans and Democrats can find some common ground upon on how to react to what's going on in Iran and what should be done?
I think they have to, Don, because of the simple fact of this. Outside of 2000, what good would it do for America to step into this right now? Because honestly, if we step in right now, we may alienate Tehran to the point where we can never negotiate with them. And if we do step in right now, we step in too early, we may end up hurting ourselves.
Hey, Warren, and Warren, real quickly, in the short time that we have left, Ben, I'll let you get in here. This will be a big topic tomorrow on your show, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the main thing here I have to look at here is the fact of the matter is, as Americans, I think that we understand something, that everybody's vote should count. And if they're going to claim they're a democracy, if they're going to claim they have free and fair elections, then we should do everything in our power to make sure that comes to fruition and back them up on their rhetoric. That's the fact. Doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. It's right and wrong. That's what we believe in.
I could sit here and talk to you and referee all night. I'm glad you guys aren't in the same room, because I think I might be breaking something up here. But we appreciate your, let's call it, your spirit.